In the bustling city of Medina,
during the fourth year of Umar bin al-Khattab's rule, an argument erupted between two traders. This was about 16 years after establishment of Medina as the head of the first Islamic state. The dispute revolved around the date of a goods exchange, whether it had occurred the previous year or the year before. This seemingly simple disagreement was brought before the Khalifa, highlighted a significant issue: the absence of a standardized calendar. Recognizing the larger problem, the Khalifa convened a council that included the wisest members of the community and representatives from other cultures, including Jews and Persians.
Before we go any further, let us see how the people of Arabia measured dates culminating in the calendar during Umar's time.
Besides pagan Arabs, there were Christians and Jews in their midst, who used different calendars. Man understood the cyclical change in position of the sunrise and sunset, a period of 365.25 days.
This became the base of the Julian calendar used by the Romans and the early Christians, and further tweaked become the Gregorian calendar we use today.
Noticing how the moon starting as a small crescent growing to a full moon before waning off in 29.53 days, a synodic month, the lunar month, ancient civilizations developed lunar calendars, like the Islamic calendar. A key difference between lunar and solar calendars is the number of days in a year.
A lunar year has 354 or 355 days, which is 10 to 11 days shorter than a solar year. Over time, this discrepancy accumulates, causing the lunar calendar to drift relative to the solar calendar.
This drift is why 33 lunar years nearly equal 32 solar years. Some cultures attempted to reconcile the two systems by adding an extra month to the lunar calendar every few years. This lunisolar approach was adopted by the Chinese, ancient Jews, and the Sabians. The pre-Islamic Arabs used lunar calendars with similar month names as we use today: Muharram, Safar, and so forth.
But there were other month names they used as well. 4 months were considered sacred, prohibiting warfare to ensure safe pilgrimage: Zulqa'dah, Zulhijjah, and Muharram. And a separate sacred month is Rajab.
The Kaaba in Mecca was a pilgrimage hub even before Islam, tying the economy to the seasonal calendar. Pre-Islamic Arabs practiced nasi, adjusting the calendar as needed.
Nasi literally means postponement. Kalamas is the title for the person in the tribe of Banu Kanana who does this adjustments.
Historians differ in the meaning of the use of this word, nasi.
Ibn Hisham believes that the calendar remains undisturbed, but the timing of the Hajj itself and the sacred months where war is prohibited is changed by the Kalamas according to political and ongoing wars. Other historians like al-Biruni have different opinion. They believe that adjustments are made to the calendar itself. According to him, about 200 to 300 years before Hijra, the Kalamazi adapted a luni-solar approach by adding 1 month to accommodate seasonal change, most probably following the Jewish calendar. This practice was abolished by a Quranic revelation during the Prophet Muhammad's last sermon, peace be upon him, cementing the Islamic calendar to 12 lunar months without intercalation. This calendar still did not have a fixed starting point, using only significant events as references. For instance, the Prophet Muhammad's birth year was known as the Year of the Elephant, referring to Abraha's attack on Mecca. That reference was probably used until the next major event, the Battle of Fijar,
which occurred when the Prophet, peace be upon him, was 20 years old, was used as a point of reference later.
Similarly, even in the early post-Hijra period, each year was given a name instead of a number.
So back to the main story.
On the 16th year after Hijra,
the traders' argument prompted Umar to seek a permanent solution. Various suggestions were considered, including those from Jewish and Persian traditions.
Ultimately, the wisest advisor, Ali bin Abi Talib, proposed using the Hijra, the Prophet Muhammad's migration to Medina, as the starting point of the Islamic calendar.
This event was chosen as it marked the end of oppression in
Mecca
and the setting up of an independent state in
Medina.
This event was designated as Year 1, and the new calendar was enforced in the 17th year after the Hijra. Though the Hijra occurred in Rabi al-Awwal, the calendar year begins with Muharram, as suggested by Umar or Uthman,
Thus, the Hijri calendar was born, providing a unified reference point for the Islamic world.